Yo, today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Your online activity should not be public, so protect yourself at expressvpn.com/achievement.
And we're in. Jack with the clap sync. What up? Welcome to Off Topic. This show, Matt, quiet. This show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Stop putting your online data at risk. Get protected at expressvpn.com/RTTV. Matt, continue.
Okay. There we go. Clap syncing.
I'm clapping, but just because I'm having a good time. That's
all
it.
right. We all
You know what I
clap.
mean?
All right. Who did Bacon Bits clap?
I've been waiting.
They're clapped.
There it is. I'm clapping.
What?
Well done.
I've been waiting until we started, guys. It's very momentous. I'm very excited. What I have here in my hand is a
What's up?
truly raspberry tea.
I almost had one of those.
Oh, I haven't had one yet. They got tea now.
Yeah, Michael, I'm going to show you what I got right
Yes?
here.
Whoa.
It's a truly peach tea.
Whoa, man! You got the tea
Right
too.
now.
Guys,
Yeah,
we
Michael,
didn't
look what
plan
I
this.
got. I got it's a truly in just water. It's just water in a
Don't worry, Jack. I
bottle.
got you. I got you.
Yeah,
I got some water too.
Well, it's
Okay.
very watered down. Very watered
Oh.
down. Truly. Cheers.
Let me get the aroma. Oh,
I think I
an
need to not-
overwhelming raspberry smell.
Overwhelming raspberry smell.
I love raspberry, so that's good. My favorite tea
Good.
is raspberry.
Oh my
that one's
gosh.
good. I got
Well,
little
that's
rice
sweet.
back of
doing?
those.
Oh, that's sweet. How much sugar's in this guy? I'm good.
Not enough.
No,
Yeah.
only
Guys,
1
who
gram.
cares?
There must
Am I
be some
muted?
kind of.
Hello?
What, we can hear
No,
you.
we hear
Calm
you,
down.
Jack.
No, we
Hello?
just choose
We were-
not to.
We were talking
You
about
hear me?
truly.
Where am I?
Take him away.
Did you guys hear
Just-
the
He's over here. He's
He
over
grabs
here.
his chair and just wheels him
Yeah,
out.
wheels them out.
Take him
Did you
off.
guys hear the good news?
Hell yeah, I did. I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Texas beat COVID. We did it. Open it up. 100%. No more
Jack-
restrictions. Rip those
Jack-
masks off
everyone.
your
I
Let's
planned
wrap
this
this
just for
up.
such an occasion. Let's hear it.
Close the homes. Let's get
We're
out of here.
done. Raise that roof.
That
We've
deserves
completed
truly.
it. We beat COVID. You got. Oh, but hey,
Damn.
but hey, guys, we got Biden. He screwed up because now COVID's coming across the border from Mexico.
Hashtag COVID got crushed.
Oh, god damn.
CGC.
I love my state
Uh-oh.
and hate my state so much at the same time.
Damn,
I
dude.
love Texas.
That's
I'm a
fucked up.
proud Texan, born and raised in Texas. Can't imagine living elsewhere. Well, up until recently, can't imagine living elsewhere. But god damn, we have some stupid people running this state, and it sucks because people look to us as like the benchmark. So like other states, like, oh, what Texas is doing, we're fine. God, people don't stop wearing masks. It's Jesus. Wear a mask. Even if you have a vaccine, wear a mask, because the thing you can still catch it. Even if you have a vaccine, it might not affect you, but you could carry it, give it to someone who doesn't have a vaccine, and or it could mutate and get even worse. So wear a mask.
or
It got
vectors.
stronger fighting in your
Even
body.
if you're like, listen, I'm healthy or whatever. Even if you've been inoculated,
Oh,
the vectors offer pathways. Yes, it's the
keep saying
scientific
vector.
terms. The
You
vectors
just
are the
keep
people,
throwing
the
a
avenues
vector.
with which it can kick around.
This is the kind of talk
Just
that
like Journey
gets people
said,
to start
don't
ignoring
stop
you.
wearing
Okay.
masks.
It-
and
it's
you
you
can
start
get
saying
it.
things
Some
like
people are oh, I got
vectors.
it once. I'm safe.
La, la,
No,
la,
you
la,
can
la.
get it multiple times. Also, if you get it
It's
once,
true,
it
Michael.
can affect you the rest of your life. You don't want to get it, and you don't want to pass it on to someone who could be affected. People are like, oh, 99% of the people survive. Great. Millions of people have gotten it, which means millions of people have died. Literally 2.5 million people have died across the planet right now, and over 500,000 in the States alone.
Okay.
Ugh.
Jack, I know this is a serious subject, and I want to treat it with all the serious matter. But Michael's right. I'm using language like vectors. You're dropping language like millions. We got to use the terms that the people can understand. Matt, I'm going to put you on the spot. Why use many
love it.
word when few word do trick?
Few
Let
word
me
do
know
trick.
what's happening in this country with few word.
With few word.
Yes, please.
Sickness go round. People no prepare, then people die. But try prepare after, then not prepare after get worse. Need to though. Keep up.
Listen, you've got my vote.
Yeah.
I feel like
though, keep up. Yes.
I'm voting Matt Bragg every
I feel
time.
like there was a
Perfect.
middle ground in between what Trevor said and what Matt said, and we didn't nail it.
When you find that, that's how you can explain it to the people.
Here's
middle
my
ground.
thing. Here's my thing. Couldn't we just
Yeah.
wait another month or two?
That's
Yeah.
really it.
Or
It's like-
or slowly let it, like slowly ramp it up. Like our governor, our stupid ass governor, was like, well, half of people over 65 have the vaccine, so we're good. It's like, okay, the other half don't, you asshole. Like that.
Yeah.
Why? Like why suddenly? Like you're like, do you think you're like, now that you say it's 100% open, now suddenly the economy's gonna boom again? Like that's not the case at all.
Let me play a little bit of
roasted.
devil's advocate, because I get entirely with where you're coming from, and I've heard a little bit of the other side, which is to say, like, we don't need the government to step in to basically force the masking on people. I think, it should be people that make those decisions, and I can see that. I understand it, but the problem is, especially in more rural areas of Texas, people are refusing to wear the masks, and I think that's the concern.
The other
So, like, it's certainly more nuanced than,
Well, the
than we're
biggest-
making it out to believe, but
but also, what? Who cares? Yeah, we don't do nuance here. The biggest problem is people of saying like, well, it's my choice whether I want to wear a mask or not. I don't give a fuck whether you wear a mask or not. The problem is you get other people sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yes.
it's like just the simple what it boils down to, the simple mindset of it's your choice whether you wear a mask or not. It's like, yeah, but if I wear a mask, like you can still get me sick.
Yeah.
Like you can get other
exactly.
people. That's the problem in itself. Is it's not just like, look, if I don't wear it, I get sick. I wouldn't give a rat's asshole then if that were the case. But that's not the case. You know what I mean? You're like, it's like, hey, you can stay at home. It's like, I don't want to stay at home. I want to wait till we can like get enough vaccines and then we can all go out.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
across the board, everybody wants to go out.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think
It's not
there's
a
anybody
situation
going,
where-
I don't want to go out. I don't want to
Yeah.
leave my house anymore.
No
People
one's
like, well, it's a
thinking like,
personal
I'd rather be
preference.
scared sitting in here. It's like,
People
no,
like-
they want to go out. They're trying to get you back to that point.
Yeah.
Do whatever you can to get there. If
But-
it's inconvenient to you for a little bit, sorry, this whole year's been inconvenient to everybody for a little bit.
It's been a
Yeah.
year. It's been a year. And here's what really blows me away. It's been a year, right? Almost like to the end of the month was really when it like kicked off, the end of March. And on the same day that, now, maybe this is wishful thinking. I feel like they have data to support this, but Biden announced we will have enough vaccines by the end of May.
For everyone to get
where
their first shot.
anybody can get a shot, which is like huge, like end of
Yeah.
May, like that's only 2 months from now. And then later that day, Abbott said, we open now.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it was
Yeah.
only 2
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
it's
Like
where,
at that
like,
point, we've been in it for a
No!
year.
It's such a selfish thing though. Like
What's
more
two
than
more
anything,
months?
people are like, oh, it's a personal preference. I don't like a mask. I hate wearing my mask. I hate it because I fog up my glasses and it's a nightmare and it's annoying.
Yep.
I'm still gonna wear it. Even when I get the vaccine, I'm still wearing a mask because you don't want it to spread. And also you're setting a precedent. You're saying like, people look at you and I see you with a mask, go, okay, you give a shit about your fellow person. Like that's the thing. When I see people ripping off their masks or like just like disgusted by wearing them, it's like, oh, because you're a selfish asshole is what it is. You're a selfish prick who can't be asked to just, give a care about anyone else on this planet. Like that's what it comes down to. Is like I give more craps about myself. And I'm so selfish that I can't be bothered to wear a little piece of fabric over my face when I'm out in public. And that's just the most frustrating thing. We're doing this for everyone. If everyone makes an effort, we could have gotten past this a long time ago. And now we're so close to the end. And I just want to get there. I just want
Or
to
even,
open up.
or
Yeah.
even
too
like,
eager and too selfish, and
maybe not even the end, but the beginning of the end,
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Well, because
You-
then we're
you
gonna have
see-
people
you
who are
see
gonna
the light
refuse
at
to
the
get the
end of the
vaccine
tunnel?
too. I mean, there's gonna be
Yeah.
people who fight it like, I don't want to get the vaccine. I don't trust it. It hasn't been tested, even though it's been tested by
See, but
hundreds of thousands of people
I'm not
now.
as concerned as much because overwhelmingly the people who do want it will get it. and they'll be more protected against the people who don't want to wear masks or don't want to get the vaccines.
But then the people who don't wear masks, the people who don't get vaccines will get COVID. It will then mutate and possibly
It's true.
get past the people who had vaccines. So that's the shitty part, is like those people who are being selfish are ruining it for the people who are thinking of others. And so it's so damn frustrating.
Well,
It's just,
I'm personally going to wait until Steve from Oklahoma pours over the data themselves, comes to me on
Steve
Twitter,
too?
lets me know, and then maybe I'll get it. No, listen, science. Just I don't even want to do. I'm gonna explode. I think we're all on the same page, and we're moving past it.
Anyway, I just want, if you're out there
Let's
watching
move
this right
past
now
it
and you're frustrated
just-
or you're stressed, just know there are plenty of people out there also frustrated and stressed about this too. Like, I'm so anxious to go out. I'm terrified because next Wednesday, we're open to 100%, which means grocery stores are like HEB, which is our major grocery store here in Texas, has already said, like, we hope people wear masks, but they're not going to mandate it anymore, which sucks, which means I don't want to go to my grocery store anymore because I know there's going to be assholes there not wearing masks.
Whoa, a-holes.
I thought I saw something where they
What did you see, Matt Bragg?
I thought I saw something where they were going to continue that. I might be completely wrong.
For their employees and
let
for
me
their
look into it.
vendors, they're requiring masks, but for customers, they highly suggest that you listen to medical professionals and not politicians. So it sucks. It really sucks. And it sucks for them because, like, you go to HEB and you're dealing, like, you got a cashier who's making $15 an hour or whatever, who's trying to stop people from coming into their building not wearing a mask, and like, what are they gonna do? Like, it's it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Anyway,
No,
Here's what we
it's
do.
like go ahead.
We move past it, and we all go to Cancun. Get the private jets! Come on, baby! Leave Texas behind.
Anyway,
Oh,
hey guys,
Cancun.
SpaceX launched a Starship yesterday. Do you guys see that?
When they blew up?
It launched twice. It was awesome. So the third attempt, they landed it, but they landed it with 1 out of 6 landing legs actually locked into place. So it just landed on its butt on the engines, which punctured the inside of it, and then slowly released gas methane until it caught fire and exploded and launched again. It's really cool. But they landed. The fact they launched, went up 10 kilometers and landed is awesome. And then and so they're gonna, but like the landing legs they had are temporary ones, and so they're working on new versions of it. So in about 2 or 3 more versions of the Starship from now, we're gonna start seeing like the really kind of like, oh, these are the closer to final landing legs. Then hopefully they can land it and really stick it and be able to do it again. So anyway, but it's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool to see that yesterday.
Yeah, it's cool, dude.
Yeah, future
I'm
stuff.
glad they finally like landed it at least a little bit,
Yeah,
at least on one leg.
I mean, technically they've landed it all 3 times.
A little bit.
Hey, you know what? I
how
guess
many
you're right.
pieces
They
it's
have
in.
landed it all 3
That's
times.
true.
Yeah.
One survived for longer than the others, I would say.
Yeah. But it was pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome, man. Like seeing that stuff, it's like the most fake looking real thing I've ever seen in my life. Like there's a shot when it does the flip, when it's going from like belly flopping down to like going upright. They had a camera underneath it looking up that it looks like CGI. It 100% looks like CGI.
Because it was.
So
It was. And we never landed on the moon, and the ISS doesn't exist. Okay, astronauts just disappear for a while.
You weren't tracking the vectors because then you could have. Then you would have seen that it was all an illusion.
Yeah, the vectors I should have paid attention to.
You fool.
You've been had.
You got him, Michael.
I can't wait until our
They
kids all start looking at this SpaceX stuff and be like, I don't think we went to space. Like just perpetuating the myth that we didn't go to the moon, that it was all faked. Who was it that they said did it? Stanley Kubrick. Yeah. Because of all in 2001: A Space Odyssey was the prototype for faking going to space, and
nailed it.
I don't know. The proof, the truth is out there, and the proof.
The proof is out.
Proof is out there.
Oh man.
Well,
Anyway, positive
the
thing.
world.
At 2 a.m. tonight, last episode of WandaVision.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah!
I'll stay up for it. I've been sleeping like 5 hours a night. So
why are you sleeping 5 hours a night? Are you staying
early
up?
mornings, late nights.
5 hours a
mini,
night. That's
Trevor.
pretty good,
Wow,
dude.
yeah, that's-
5 hours.
I've been putting in some good quality time.
5 hours a night. That sounds restful.
It does. On average, that's 3 hours more than I get. So
I really I really rest in and finally go, now I can sleep at about 7:30 in the morning.
yeah.
I mean, like 10 minutes before the alarm goes off. That's me.
Yeah. That's when I'm my most tired and when I can finally fall asleep. No,
I've been
bad.
having some.
How
go
often do
ahead.
you wake up right before your alarm goes off? That happened to me this morning. We're literally like
Pretty
my
frequently.
eyes opened and I was like, huh. And then my alarm went off. It was the
Most
weirdest
days
thing.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost every day
I-
now.
Your
Basically
internal
every day.
clock is
At
ticking pretty good.
my
Yep.
Old
On the
job,
weekends. Same
like
thing.
clockwork, like by a minute, because I had to
Yep.
get up at like 6:30 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
I would get up at like 6:28 instinctively, like every single day.
It's wild, isn't it?
It's
It's,
so much
like-
nicer
yeah.
too. Like when you get up naturally without an alarm, it's like, oh,
And then
Okay,
in
I'm
your
good.
head,
I'm good.
quickly you go, if I turn it
Yeah.
off now, I don't even have to hear that god awful sound.
yeah.
Dangerous.
I quickly take my
Yeah.
phone out and then I turn it off.
Yeah, as
I
long as
turn
you
it
get
back
up.
on every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I've done that, and then I've woken up an extra 2 hours later and been like, whoops.
Oops. Yeah. I have definitely
Yeah.
done that before.
Yeah.
I also have, I'll wake up like right before it and I contemplate turning it off and then I'm like, nah, you can just let that snooze. Just do that. Maybe crank it back 5 minutes. That would be great.
Crank it back.
It never works
Crank
out.
it back.
I mean,
You
if you
gotta-
don't
you
do
gotta-
anything,
One of
it
those clocks that you gotta
snoozes.
like wind it.
Yeah. Matt,
I
okay.
had one of those. Those are terrible too. What's
Matt,
up?
no
Okay.
judgment. Because I
I
also
mean, you
say,
say that right before you judge me. Go ahead.
how many times do you typically hit the snooze button in the morning?
Lately, because of the aforementioned 2 hours, I don't. Because if I hit the snooze button, that means I am several minutes late for work. Because it's basically like, oh, what time is it? 9:55. It's time to wake up.
That's when you wake up, Matt Bragg?
Yeah.
We have to let the audience know
He
we have a
rolls
meeting
out
at
of
10
bed
a.m.
into
every
work.
morning.
That's so disorienting.
we have
Nah,
a
dude,
so
I'm fine.
you've been conscious for 5 minutes by the time you join our meeting.
10,
Hey.
please.
Jack,
10. I guess
5
we started.
minutes. 5 minutes if you're lucky. All right?
Yeah. That's all. And also, you're forgetting 10 a.m. is the soft start. It's
That's true.
usually
That's
it's
true.
That's
hard
why
to
I
real
said
start.
it's
The
I
real
will
start
say,
is 10:06.
I definitely would normally get there early into this. Like I got there at like right at 10, and I was like, "Oh, I'm the only one here, so
Might as well get
we
some
can
more
we can wait.
minutes in.
We can wait
Take a little nap.
Yeah.
Take a little nap, you know?
You
Oh,
don't
yeah,
care.
but no,
Okay.
that's enough time to get up, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and then I walk in there. I'm like, okay,
That's true. That's true.
It's
I
enough
mean,
time
for
to
what it's
skip
worth, like I
breakfast
usually
and-
snooze like 4 to 5 times. Like I it's hard
And
for me to get out of bed. So
Jack,
man.
I
I don't
used to
snooze
do
at
that.
all.
I
Yeah.
used to do that, and then I just cut it out because I, started going to bed at like 8 in the morning.
See, you guys do this the soft snoozing, right? I just set alarms. So if
Yeah.
I get up at 8, instead of snoozing at 8, I have an alarm at 6, I have an alarm at 7, I have an alarm at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Those two first starts, they ease me into 8 o'clock. I've done this for years. I
Yeah.
wake up, right? Because you wake up at 8 and you go, fuck, I don't want to get up, snooze. You wake up at 6 and I go, 2 more hours. Assuming I'm
that's-
sleeping at that
that's
point.
good.
I can't
though.
do that.
Then I
like
wake up
that.
at 7 and I go, 1 more hour. Then I wake up at 8. I'm ready to go. I've faced my demons. I've gotten to go back to sleep twice at that
Yeah.
point. And then I
No,
wake up at
that's
8.
perfect.
People call me crazy. I've been doing it for years.
Here's my version of that. And
Why'd
it's
you throw
it's
something at me, you monster?
Something got thrown?
Uh-oh.
I got hit with a French fry. I got hit with a
Nice.
French fry.
See, that's perfect
Damn.
to be thrown at. Like throw that away
Yeah.
at me. Yeah, no, my life pro tip for that very thing is ignore the first alarm. I think that's a very good kind of system you got there, Michael. But what I do is I use nature's alarm of the bathroom break. I chug a lot of
Ooh.
water. Well, I normally just stay hydrated, and that kind of
Mm.
helps. But I drink a good amount of water before bed, and somewhere in the morning hours, I'll wake up. I'll go, I get to get back in bed and like stretch and go to bed. It's excellent because you're like, I've got at least another hour. You go to the bathroom, do the thing,
Mhm.
you're well hydrated, and there's no like grating alarm or anything like that. And then
I just-
back to
I
bed,
can't-
you know?
I can't do that. That gives me
Yeah.
enough like time for my brain to have consciousness. If I ever can start thinking, I'm screwed. That's
I
the
just
problem.
focus
I'm
on
awake.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
While we're on the topic
try to
of
do it with my
alarms
eyes
right
closed.
now, our friends over at space, they had a thing where they're curious. Do you, when you set an alarm on your phone, do you edit the same alarm or do you add a new alarm?
Well, I have 3, and then I only
have 3
juggle
too.
those. I never create more.
So you never create more?
No, and I'll edit them if I need be.
Okay. Okay.
As I need, but
Yeah, I've
generally it's 6, 7, 8, and then I'll adjust from
See,
there.
I've got I think 1, maybe 2 alarms on my phone. I just edit it anytime I need to do that. Gavin has like 40 on his.
Yeah,
where
no,
he,
I don't. That's
he literally has
Here's
one
what
for
I
like
got.
he's got one for like 6 and one for like 601. You know, oh,
got
there you go.
these.
Yep. All right, Trevor's an ad. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and I can walk you through it, but I want to hear about Matt. I want to hear your status on the
Oh
alarms.
yeah, no. I've got one for the week. That's the 9:55 one, and then I've got 2 for the weekend that are like set 30 minutes apart.
Sure.
Yeah, that's out
You
of
know.
focus.
Yeah,
What?
I was
He looks
showing mine,
beautiful
but
to
it
me.
was out of,
Oh.
out of
yeah,
focus.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got
no,
2.
I started with what Michael's got, right? I've got like the different systems for like, okay, this is a workout morning, this is a normal morning, these are the 2 I need. So like I got my 6, I got my 8 or whatever. But then like as we started to travel more for work, or as like photo shoots would happen extra early or whatever, I, instead of tweaking my normal ones, I was like, well, I might as well let that 7:30 one just stay at 7:30. And I'm just going to make a separate one. And so a couple ended up in there. And so I have a couple that I just keep mental note of, that I tweak them by 15 minutes, depending on whatever the specific need of that morning is. So yeah, that's why I have them like through. But then you have a catalog of nice times to wake up, and you don't have to worry about editing anymore. You just go, you know what? That feels nice.
Yeah, but how often with that catalog do you accidentally have alarms on that you didn't mean to, or off
never.
when you didn't mean to? Never?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
No,
You
I've
might-
never had the
I've
wrong
had
ones on.
that-
And in fact, I if
Whoa.
anything, I'm
One
going to
time.
forget to turn it on in the first place, because I don't leave it on in the morning. Instead of like hitting snooze or whatever, like I might snooze, but normally I go into the app and then turn it off.
Oh, you could just hit like stop
Yeah, I know that does the
without
same
turning
thing.
it off.
It depends.
Yeah.
It's all about just like doing an action and waking my eyes up and just like thinking about it, because I realized I would sleep turn it off. I used to sleepwalk.
Yeah.
And now what I'll
that'll
do is
happen.
like
Yeah.
sometimes
You
I'll
gotta
sleep
keep it-
snooze.
you
and I'll
gotta
be
keep
30
it at
minutes down the
arm's
way.
length.
Yes.
The only time that'll happen to me is if I like fall asleep with my phone in the bed, as
Oh, I do
opposed to
that.
like off on the stand.
Mhm.
Then I could off that shit without waking up. That's the only time I like miss my alarm. Is I wake up and I go, my alarm didn't go off, as I'm clutching my phone, and I just say, or did it?
Yeah.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Masterclass. With Masterclass, you can learn from the world's best minds anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. You can learn how to direct films from Ron Howard, improve your culinary skills from Gordon Ramsay, or learn screenwriting from Aaron Sorkin. With over 100 classes from a range of world-class instructors, that thing you've always wanted to do is closer than you think. Recently, I checked out some of Wolfgang Puck's cooking classes. And it was really interesting. Because who doesn't like food? I like food. I like eating food. I'm not really that knowledgeable on cooking food. I usually just follow the instructions on the bag. And I thought I could tinker around. Let's see, what is there to learn. And what I found interesting and I kind of enjoyed is one of the very first lessons isn't even how to cook something, but it's to train your palate. And he talks about all the different like flavors of taste, from salty and sour and sweet, and how you kind of need to train your own palate to tell the difference between the flavors and how they affect the food, so you know how to add them to the food. Because if you don't understand like what the taste flavors are, how are you going to make the food? And I was like, this is blowing my mind right now. So I've just dabbled a little bit in, but I'm looking forward to watching more, and then theoretically actually cooking something. We'll see about that. Well, you know what I mean. But the class is quite masterful. Lessons are super flexible, with classes ranging from 10 to 15 minutes and are accessible from your phone. I watched mine from my phone, computer, or even your smart TV. And it's not just watching the classes, you also get downloadable lesson recaps and supplemental material to continue your education. I highly recommend you check it out if there's something that you think you would like to learn, and learn it from someone who knows what they're talking about, someone who's a master of their craft. Get unlimited access to every master class and As an off-topic listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/off-topic. That's masterclass.com/off-topic for 15% off Masterclass.
Yeah.
Wait, why am I a liar?
That's
Someone
the
in
worst.
chat's calling me a liar.
That's
You're
the
a
worst when you
liar.
do turn off your alarm, but you don't wake up. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
reach
yeah.
over and just like hit it, and it's just
Zombie
off, and it's just like,
reflex.
then you
Yep.
wake up 2 hours later, like, what happened? Oh God! And yeah,
Mhm.
that's
My
that's
favorite
nightmare.
thing, my favorite thing about sleepwalking, and I don't know if any of you have slept walk.
I love
But-
sleepwalking.
Mm.
If you wake up, you have that stupid brain is still full in control, where you're just like, I don't know, like things don't just work right. Your thinking is really weird because you're still kind of in the dream state. But when you're
Yeah.
sleepwalking, that is your consciousness. You're just like super stupid. And and usually you don't remember it, but there was a time, and I might have told this story on the podcast before, but and it was usually in my teens that I was sleepwalking. And I was wearing contacts at that time, and it was the type that for any contact wearers at home, it's a cylinder and you screw it down, and it's kind of acidic. It would burn you, and it needs to neutralize overnight. It's like super cleansing for your contacts. And I sleptwalked literally like 15 minutes after I fell asleep. And I got up, I'm in the bathroom, I undo them, and I'm like, and I stick them in my
Oh,
eye. I'm
yeah.
still asleep, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it burns. And then
You
I just went,
burn-
okay.
you
I
burn
went
in
for the
your
next one,
eyeballs.
and I went, oh, it burns. And I'm still asleep, but I woke up enough to remember that. And then I like, as my eyes are burning, I get into the shower. Normally, you got to like, especially with my house that's from back home that I used to live in, was as old as I was at the time, and jump in there, just turn on the water. Normally, you got to wait a while for that to heat up. I'm just get in it, close the curtain, turn the thing on, blasted with freezing water. I'm like, my eyes, and then I woke up in that moment in the shower, going, "Why do my eyes hurt? And why am I freezing?
Who's beating the
Why am
shit
I
out
in
of
the shower?
me?
How did I get in here?"
This really makes me question the validity of Mr. Magoo. I don't
Yeah.
think that could have happened.
Well, and then I woke up the next morning, and that's where I really put it all together. Thank you, Chad. It was peroxide, I think. But I woke up halfway on the wrong side of the bed, halfway out, only in my underwear, and I was very, very confused. Also, my eyes really hurt, and I could see perfectly fine, so it was very disorienting to wake up that way. But yeah, that's my sleepwalk story.
Oh, man,
Well,
that's-
thankfully,
that's
I never left the
horrifying.
house or went in and did
Yeah.
anything. So there's some people that would like go out and do stuff, walk down the street, find a dog,
Yeah,
and
no.
I don't know.
Find a doll.
Play
Yeah,
with
that kind of stuff-
raccoons.
That sort of stuff is
crazy.
horrifying. It's like people like, oh, I
Yeah.
just, suddenly I woke up and I was, in my front yard. It's like, oh God, that's terrifying to me.
I've never had anything like that, but I have sleep paralysis. Like, well, not as much anymore. I've kind of figured out a way to deal with it. But like, I used to
don't
have it
go to
all the
sleep.
time. It's
It
you
sounds
sure?
like that's the
Problem
case.
solved.
I used to have it all the time, but like one version of it that I didn't even really know was a thing was I basically lived a day of my life, like completely. Like it was so vivid and so real. Like I remember it like perfectly. I left my house, went and did like my entire routine, and then I came back home and my grandma welcomed me, and I was like, "You aren't alive. That's bad." and it's just like, "No, I am." And then I fucking
Oh
just
my
woke up. I was
Jesus.
like, yeah, it was a nightmare. Like I woke up screaming. It was
Damn.
Matt, you've got a
horrifying.
lot of like really fascinating
it's-
stories.
It's
From-
sugar
from
brain
that
is what
time.
it is. He's got sugar brain.
He's got sugar brain.
Sugar brain.
The
I just
monsters
remember-
come from the sugar. That's where
And
they.
from the
That's where
peach
they
tea.
live. That's where they live. They live inside the donuts and attack him when he sleeps.
Oh my god. The
It's
sugar
worth it.
monster. Yeah, I remember, Matt, one of the first times I don't even know if we were recording at this point. We were just kind of playing games,
We were
getting
just,
to know
like,
each
hanging
other.
out, yeah.
Yeah, we were on a Skype call, just hanging out, and you were telling me, and this was after many hours of chatter. You said in the place that you were living at that time, I believe it's where your grandparents used to live, and
Mhm.
that's where you were staying. You also used to have a pet cat there, and that was before Aria. And
Yeah.
you would tell me about like I don't want to like steal your stories or anything, but you'd tell me about a lot of strange things that you experienced in that house, and like I was immediately fascinated by Matt Bragg.
There was a lot of shit that like happened in that place.
Mhm.
Like I know that like most people after Haunter have kind of like decided like we found no proof like completely. I've lived proof to me where I'm like there's got to be something happening. Either that or that house was just incredibly windy in certain areas that slammed doors all the time and like moved stuff off the wall and shut the power off. But
and spoke to you.
well, that's a separate thing.
A lot of sugar in that house.
A lot of sugar. But yeah, no, I after my grandparents like passed away, like my cat and I were basically the only ones living there. And it was literally just us. And like I would often hear the security system in the middle of the night, like, you know, beep. It's like a door was open, and I was like, okay, do I die tonight? Is that what's going on?
No.
I might as well just accept my fate.
Yeah,
like
I
just wouldn't move.
I got like a bat, and I kind of like went looking around, and then like the front door was wide open, and the cat was like sitting on the porch, and I'm like, you were asleep in the living room, so you didn't open that because it's a very heavy door. I'm just gonna shut this and not worry about it. And that was like the long and short for quite a while.
Yeah, like set your security system off though.
No, so well, that's the thing. I quit leaving it on.
There's the at home version.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like it kept opening, and I was just like, I'll just let it beep, I guess, and that was that. But
there's the stay mode, and then there's the away mode, right? So that way you don't inadvertently have the motion detectors on. So when you come downstairs in the morning, it's
well, that was the thing. We often had the motion detectors off because, like, again, they were a thing that just seemed to go off, and we kind of always chalked that up to like the house was dusty, I guess. I don't know. It just maybe that was the situation.
Bugs walking across.
Yeah, it was the South. You know, there occasionally were cockroaches that were like as big as a dog anyway, so you just let it go.
I believe it.
But yeah, no, like we quit. Like after my grandparents passed away, I quit turning on the front door one. Because it kept opening so frequently that
just
I was
cut
like,
that wire.
Yeah, that's fine.
The safe way.
He disabled the alarm, but did put a sign on the front door. Please don't kill me.
Please don't kill me.
And he said please. So then the person, whoever was messing with Matt, went, all right, he said please.
He left a sign.
I got him to turn off the alarm, but he said please. I gotta go. It seems like, based on your stories, it sounds like, you've had encounters with your grandparents, or at least your grandmother, based on one of your stories where you had a hallway or something where two doors basically would bonk into each other just by the design of the house. And if one was open, it would actually block the other door. And you had heard something. And all that makes me think is your grandparents became poltergeists.
And, that's entirely possible.
And I feel like that's a very brag thing to do.
All the years of me bothering them, they were probably like, finally we can do it. We can get back. I don't know though. It was there was stuff happening there like long before that. Because I remember my grandma one day, she was like, because I slept on the opposite end of the house, and I used to play the piano fairly frequently, but I broke my arm and I kind of quit playing since then, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not super into it as much anymore. And I spent the night at my friend's house I didn't really tell her or anything like that because I was in college, so she didn't really care. And I came back the next day and she was like, oh, did you go get breakfast? I was like, oh yeah, I had something. And then she goes, oh, you were playing some nice piano this morning. And I was like, no, I wasn't.
You're talented.
I was over there. Yeah.
Dude, you got someone living in your attic and you didn't even know it.
That's really, like, I thought about that for the longest time where I'm like, someone might just be living around here. We just don't know.
And they're really good at the piano.
And they're experts at it.
I've seen some pretty spooky things. Sometimes I wonder if they're fake, but there's like security cam where people like crawl down out of the ceiling in the kitchen and, eat some of their food. There was like the first time I'd ever seen anything like that. It was probably on Reddit or something. But somebody they moved into this house and they found probably someone got in there and started squatting in between. And there was a secret like bookshelf or something with a spiral staircase that went down. And they didn't find that until like months or so into living there. And they found like the residuals of people like rappers and stuff, and they noticed that food was going missing and stuff. And when they found that whoever might have been in there wasn't there at the time, and they didn't come back clearly. But that stuff freaks me out. Freaks me out.
That's worse to me.
There's not a lot of stories about because that's real. There's not a lot of stories about people People sneaking out of the walls, coming down, and you know what? I'm gonna make them dinner and then leave.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine.
Instead of going, who ate this food? It's like, who made this food? I got a fucking chef living in my walls. This is crazy. I would
feel
like
they'd
for
be like,
someone.
They know.
I would
that.
like
We gotta.
for someone who isn't, you know, like a squatter or something, just some regular dude, just to go, I'm gonna sneak into somebody's walls and I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do them favors while they're asleep. I'm gonna clean their house. Did you vacuum yesterday? I didn't vacuum. Oh my god. Well, should we tell someone? No.
Oh, let it
The
keep
house
happening.
got cleaned.
Yeah.
What's
I
going
don't know.
on,
I'm just
Jack?
typing.
You working
I'm
on
just
your new
typing.
novel? All work and no play.
I was.
Hey,
So
hey, you
tomorrow,
gotta
tomorrow we're
attach us
doing.
as producers.
Tomorrow we're doing the Black Heritage Month block
Yes.
party, and
Yes,
so
yes.
we're looking for one other person. So I'm hitting up somebody to be like, hey, would you like to join us? And so yeah. Anyway, Ben reached out to me and he was like, hey, can you grab one more person? I'm like, okay. So I reached out
Yeah.
to somebody. So anyway, I apologize.
Yeah, plans got all no worries. No, all plans got all flummoxed with the week of Power being out and stuff, so things got delayed. But and plans got changed. You know, some people were available then that aren't available now. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
All right. Boom.
We're gonna have to get you some cherry keys though.
I know.
Well, I mean, Jack
They're
has a
nice.
mute button though for his microphone. You know, he could just press a button.
That's true.
And you
That's
wouldn't
true.
hear it. So, like, look, watch this.
I got distracted.
Oh shit.
Or I could just, you know,
Okay.
I could use the curse button when I type. Just
Yeah, you could.
that's fine, right? Okay. You didn't hear me. You
Hey.
didn't hear me typing.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Well,
Well,
That's
it.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
been a
Wear a
good-
mask.
Pack it in,
man.
everybody.
I got distracted. People, so Universal Studios just open up, like they you know, they have shops all the times, and they refresh them all the time. So they're doing a throwback right now to like all of the opening day look merchandise type stuff. So it's really cool. It's the old school like wide logo, and in the shop where they have all that, they've got a bunch of props and stuff they use when they built the park. So like people had photos of it. I'm like, oh my god, it all looks so cool. So
Nice.
I just want to go to theme parks again, man. I just want to be able to
Dude.
travel and go to theme parks.
Yeah.
I do too.
It's been over a year since I've been on a plane, which I know it sounds like ooh, first world, but it's like we traveled so much, and to not do that. I mean, we're coming up on it, the 19th, so we are 15 days away from 365 days of being out of being working from home. So
yeah, it's
oh,
wild. It's wild to
Yeah,
think about
crazy.
because this year, I'm sure you're all feeling similarly, but it's weird to feel this year and feel both how scary fast this year has gone, knowing that this is a year of my life, like over 1% of my life, boom, like a blink of an eye. But also at the same time, it feels like the longest period of my life where I feel like that was only
Yeah.
last week or only a month ago or whatever's happening. It's really weird. There's nothing to ground your memories. And this is why I think I've talked about it before, but this is why I like traveling if I can. This is why I try to make memories with Barbara or my family or what have you as much as possible, because it really slows down time and gives you like, oh yeah, that was the summer of 2019 or whatever. Like it really gives you kind of check marks or chapters for your life. Because otherwise, if you're just staying at home doing the same thing, life becomes a blur and it's spooky fast.
it's wild how much like things have changed and how quickly like time just like has become impossible to gauge anymore. Like you know, it's weird to me. Like Endgame, like Infinity or Avengers Endgame came out 2 years ago. Like,
That's wild.
Yep.
I mean, like coming up on 2 years, but yeah, it's like damn, that is bonkers.
Yeah.
Yo, what up? This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Stamps.com. Okay, why is he so excited about stamps? I'll tell you why. Because let's face it, taking trips to the post office is probably not how you want to spend your time. It's not how I want to spend my time. But wait, why is he excited? Because you don't have to go to the post office, okay? That's why I recommend mailing and shipping online at Stamps.com. There it is. He brought it back around. They allow you to mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right from your computer. Send letters, ship packages, and pay a whole lot less with discounted rates from USPS, UPS, and more. Stamps.com brings the services of the U.S. Postal Service and the UPS right to your computer, and it's a must-have for any business. Whether you're a small office sending out invoices, an online seller shipping out orders, or even a giant warehouse sending thousands of packages a day, Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. That's what they do. Simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send it. Once your mail is ready, just schedule a pickup or drop it off. It's that simple, okay? Going to the post office is bad enough, right? But then you're talking about like this, what do I get and where do I put it on the letter? You just go to Stamps.com. You sort it all out with ease, okay? It's super simplified and it saves me money, okay? Thank you, Stamps.com. Now I'm sending like a pro. With Stamps.com, you get discounts up to 40% off post office rates and up to 62% off UPS shipping rates. Not to mention, but I'll mention it anyway, Stamps.com is a fraction of the cost of those expensive postage meters. It's a no-brainer, saving you time and money. It's no wonder nearly 1 million small businesses already use Stamps.com. Stop wasting time going to the post office and go to Stamps.com instead. There's no risk, and with my promo code, Off Topic, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments, no contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Off Topic. That's Stamps.com, promo code Off Topic. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again.
Well, I've been watching. Barbara and I have been scooting back through the Marvel catalog because
A little scoot.
we've been scooting, but we also tapped a lot of the shows we were watching. We're still scooting and tapping. We're watching Survivor, The Bachelor, and all of that good stuff. But we've been scooting back through. Like we watched Age of Ultron. That's pretty nice, especially.
Is it because WandaVision told you to at the end of every single episode?
Yeah.
Well, yes and no. It's just it's the Marvel movie I think I've rewatched the least. I think I only saw it one time, but I was also like, you know what? Now that I've got a lot of this WandaVision under our belt, like, why don't we go back and watch Ultron? They got me, but I'm also like paying monthly for Disney Plus anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
Get me all you want.
Yeah.
It's just been nice spending some time, some quality time, rewatching some good film. I mean, not just Marvel. There's a bunch of other stuff we're watching, but that's the one we're on a kick on right now because of WandaVision's finale soon. Woo!
Yeah, tonight we're less than 12 hours away from it. Yeah, Katie and I rewatched Age of Ultron as well. And it's like, man, and so we went through, we rewatched. She had never seen Civil War, which caught me off guard. And so we watched that.
Fantastic film.
So good. And then we watched Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think she's seen Thor 2. I think most people haven't seen Thor 2.
Dark World, is that what that one is?
Yeah, that's probably the weakest of all the MCU movies.
Yeah, it's still worth seeing, I guess, but I probably won't go back and rewatch it. I watched scenes from it, like, I don't know, like the fight scenes or whatever. Like when I'm scrolling through YouTube, I've seen a few like clip channels, and I'll be like, you know what, I will watch that scene again, but I don't know if I'm gonna rewatch the full film.
I mean, what was
Thor 2 again? What happened in that?
Dark World is the Dark Elves. There's two important things come of.
I have seen that one.
Yeah, two important things come of that: the ether, which is basically the reality stone, and also oh god, I just had the other one in my head. Loki. Loki kind of turns at that point and becomes not as evil. Like the first Thor movie, he's pretty damn bad. And then, then you get to Avengers, and then Thor 2, it's like, oh, okay, he's kind of learned his lesson a little bit, like this is after the first Avengers movie, and it's like, okay, there's hints of him being good.
They animate him a little bit.
Yeah,
they do, anime.
Like he was the villain of the first arc, but the second arc, they're not friends, but he hangs around, and they don't kill him on sight for some reason.
Yeah. The relationship.
Kill that man! Kill that man now!
You see him? He's bad. The relationship definitely becomes more complex, but it definitely is clunky to go from the evil to like, let's get him where we want him.
Yeah. Look, I turned into Captain America. Family. Is this silly? This is silly.
Yeah.
He did that.
But then, then you've got the Incredible Hulk's the other one that's not that great. I was just trying to think of like the weaker MCU movies. Incredible Hulk, the Edward Norton one, most people forget about that fits into the MCU. That was the second MCU movie.
It's weird that they even like agreed with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it really was not supposed to be in there originally. I don't
Those
think.
Hulk movies,
No, it
man,
was. It
were
was.
just-
They always intended that? I just
it,
thought it
it
was
ends,
like
it
they
ends
made
with
a
Robert
Hulk
Downey
movie.
Jr. showing up.
Oh,
the
so
post-credit
I
scene,
didn't
I
watch
think.
all of it. Yeah.
So I mean, really, the only thing you have coming from that is you've got Thunderbolt Ross, who's carried over to or General Ross, who's carried over
Yep.
like across all the movies, and then also you've got Martin Starr, who at one point Edward Norton goes into like the university that Liv Tyler works, and you see like this nerd guy, and he gives him pizza and he holds it up. And they've now gone back and said it's canon that Martin Starr's from Silicon Valley. He's the teacher from the Spider-Man movies. They've said
He's me.
Yeah, he's you. He's Matt.
Yeah.
So they've
100%
said him
He's
in
you
that
a little
movie.
more put together.
They've said
Hey,
him in that movie is the
A bit
young
more.
version of Peter's teacher in high school. So like that's where he went to
Gotcha.
college there, and then like he went and got a job in New York at a college.
Oh,
So they said that's the same character. So that's kind of
pretty
funny.
neat.
Matt,
Yeah.
he's you if you got 8 hours of sleep a night.
Man, I could do it.
That's
I could
that's what
be
you-
him.
We're talking Guilfoyle to
You'd
put
be
it
a
into
teacher.
character
Yeah.
names, right?
Guilfoyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great actor too. He's really funny. He was.
Yeah,
Have
he
you ever
really
seen
is.
Freaks
Really
and
good.
Geeks? The TV show Freaks and Geeks. He's a kid. He's awesome on that show.
Matt, line- get in
let me
there.
see.
There you go. Yeah.
Matt, make your face about 20% larger.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Get in there.
You can do it.
I fully expect Matt
Stop
to
looking to the
disappear
side,
into-
damn it. Just believe. Look
Come
straight
on,
ahead and
Guilfoyle.
believe.
There you
Just
go.
feel
You're,
it.
you're getting there. Turn
The,
a little bit
the
more.
eyes are freaky. The eyes are freaky.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you were one for a second. For a
Yeah.
second,
Hang on,
you were
hang on.
one on
Oh,
one.
the glisten. You're
Whoa.
adding humanity to that still image.
Oh, he's blinking now.
It's like a haunted mansion.
Blinking like a Harry Potter portrait.
8 hours
There
of
you go.
sleep.
Yeah, that's all it would take. I'll have to
Oh.
look into it. Maybe if I take like, I don't know, chloroform, I can sleep that long.
No, just keep
Well,
drinking those teas, man.
Would they do it?
They'll put you down.
That is one thing I do really love about the MCU though, is that like future projects can make older projects better. Like you watch
Yeah.
WandaVision,
Yeah.
they're like, oh shit, I'll go back and rewatch Age of Ultron. It's like, oh, okay. Like I appreciate her more now. And it's like they always seem to do that where it's like
Yeah.
they reward people who pay attention, but they also give you the chance to go back and be like, oh, okay, this links together. And like I dig that. I like that a whole lot.
It's that, yeah, dude. It's that non-linear character development that I don't think a lot of people, including myself, certainly don't really pay attention to until you have a project like the MCU that you really need to establish that. Like obviously with Iron Man and Captain America, you're along for the journey, but then I was always hesitant. I'm like, I want Avengers, but how are you going to do that? That's a lot of big big names on one screen, a lot to pay attention to, a lot to know. And so then when you have like Age of Ultron, they plop in, Scarlet, well, their names, Wanda and Pietro, but
It's
so you're like, but you just kind of have to like, just deal with it. Hey, they're here, deal with it, move on, right? Like Rhodey. But then eventually, yeah, they like go, okay, cool. Now we can take this moment to really polish up what you didn't know about that character. And I think it's just been done so well
yeah.
that anytime I talk to Lewis, I'm like, you need to be the guy for DC. Like we're in the Warner universe. You and Fredo get up in there
Yeah.
and do that, because like I feel like I love the DC properties. I think the animations are doing, like the animated series are doing really well. They're really well written, but I think the movies are trying to like really get up to speed too quickly.
Yeah, they're pushing too fast.
And you know what? I'm like, Rome wasn't built in a day. Just start slow, let's start steady and crawl our way there, because like, I don't know. I'm just like, I really want to see, like, I'm super excited for this new iteration of Batman. I'm super excited to see what happens with that. I'm optimistic about the Snyder Cut to see how that comes together.
That's this month.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. Like I'll just, I'm not holding my breath, but at the same time, these are really cool characters that I'm just really hopeful that it can land at some point.
It felt to me like the DC universe started drifting in the correct direction. When we got Shazam and the first Wonder Woman movie, it's like, okay, we're getting into it. And then Justice League came out and it was just like, like Justice League wasn't fun until like the very end when they were all together, like fighting together. It's like, okay, this is what I want to see. But it's just like, it feels to me like the DC universe is just kind of a bummer. Like it just feels like everything is a lot more dark, a lot grittier. And just like, Whereas
The
like Marvel
aesthetic
feels
has a
like
lot to
bright
do with
in
and,
it.
like,
general,
Gotta-
that's kind of like how they are anyway.
You gotta be able to kill people and still keep it fun. And Marvel
Yeah.
does that. Look, you
Yeah,
see an action
yeah.
scene in Avengers, you don't think about, well, 1,000 people just died there, because they're like, nice catch. And they go, and then they run along. And it's like, dude, two
Right.
buildings just exploded.
Yeah.
You just keep moving. DC, they're like, I've been going through the bodies. Nothing but
Yeah.
arms and legs everywhere. I called their parents.
It's just like,
Here's a transcript of the phone call.
yeah, DC really wades into that pool. They're like, I watched you kill every single. I counted the bodies and I saw their names and I told their families. Marvel, like, you know, to their credit, really tapped onto that realistic angle and then set up Civil War because it became a macro level issue that then, you know, they all had their different opinions about how they wanted to go about like registering as a superhero or not or whatever. So they kept it high level. They kept it light,
Yeah.
like you're saying.
They
But
got
yeah, DC is
shawarma.
But yeah,
shawarma. They
They
got
get
shawarma.
shawarma.
they needed
They
needed
swarmed.
Kevin Feige. Like you're right, Trevor. They needed Kevin Feige to sort of like mastermind the whole thing and have that like, you know, Snyder was gonna kind of be that guy. He was gonna kind of be the overarching dude, but he's a director. You need someone who's like literally like a puppet master, kind of making sure everything is on the same tone, same feel. And Kevin Feige, who is the guy who wears a baseball hat, you've probably seen him. He's literally been involved with the MCU from day one, from Iron Man 1 up until now. And he's the one who's making sure that the right directors get attached to the right projects, but also that stuff links together. And then when they have issues like, you know, Edgar Wright was going to do the first Ant-Man movie and he was very like reluctant to tie it into this larger world. And they were like, sorry, that this is what we're doing. And you can see, you know, Peyton Reed stepped in and took it over and it's done a great job with it. Or Peyton Reed did Spider-Man. Anyway, whoever stepped in to do Ant-Man, like they linked it together. And then you get like those great moments, like seeing Scott Lang pop up in Civil War, where he's just like, oh, you're Captain America. You're great. Oh, I know you. Like those little moments, like that's so awesome, you know, like. And again, they reward people for paying attention and they've given up on the whole, like every movie works alone. Like every movie works by itself. You have to know stuff at this point and you go in understanding that there's no premonition that like you can drop into Captain America Civil War, having not seen any of those movies and understand what the hell is going on. It's like, nope. You have to pay attention. It's a TV show. It's a serialized
you can
movie.
kind of figure it out, but even then you're right. It's like you're going to be missing huge parts of it.
You can, if you really want the deeper appreciation. Otherwise, you can just go in saying, "Hey, this is a superhero movie. People are going to punch. People are going to fly." But I think one thing I identified last time I watched Justice League was the power difference, because it was the focus of that. They're like, Superman's not here. The world's unguarded. Let's get in there. If Superman is the solution for everything, you're going to have a bad time when it comes to writing. And I'm not a writer. That's just like my gut feeling. So. And then that was also the topic when it was Batman versus Superman. That is the subject matter. And how do you bridge that gap? I mean, I think Marvel did really well because like in Thor, I think it was Thor 2, they basically took Thor's powers away till the very end. And like, how do you scale a god up next to like Peter Parker, who has spider powers, next to Hawkeye, who has extraordinary stamina and accuracy, like but they're on different tiers. God would like the Hulk and Thor go at each other, but they're on a totally different level. How do they fight next to each other? How do you make the bad guys feel like I think DC is that's a big struggle, and it really impacts the storytelling.
Yeah, Marvel's really, really good about that, of being like, okay, we have these superpowered people, but like you think Batman versus Superman, that's essentially like Captain Marvel versus Black Widow. You know, it's like one is godlike and the other is clever. And it's like, but when it comes down to it, Black Widow is never winning that fight. Superman versus Batman comes down to it. Batman's never winning that fight. Like in the longest amount of time.
He normally does in like several continuities where that happens. He normally does. I mean, like, and it's always because like, I think that's the theme of it is he's just a normal person.
He's the world's
just
greatest
believes
detective.
he can do anything. Exactly.
He's the world's greatest detective. He detected how to
that Superman was weak to rocks.
Okay?
But I mean, that's the thing. Like Superman could just go, a mile away and just laser Batman, and boom, done, game over. You know, if like it really came down to it, and like
he could, but he has an anti-laser shield.
That's true.
Right. If you like Marvel, like Trevor was saying, like there are different tiers.
Seen it.
Like there's different tiers of sort of combatants within the Marvel universe. And even like in Age of Ultron, you know, like at one point, you know, Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch are in this building together. She's freaking out and Hawkeye's like, listen, we are on a city that is floating. I have a bow and arrow. This doesn't make any sense. And they just you know, own it. They're like, yeah,
there's some nice candor. There's some nice candor in Marvel.
Even like Spider-Man saying like that shield doesn't obey the law of physics at all. It's like, yeah, because it kind of just does whatever it wants to do. And they just sort of roll with it. It's like, all right,
it's vibranium.
Entirely grounded.
You paid attention, you'd know that.
Yeah, let's be honest. Peter Parker wasn't reading about vibranium in school. He just needs to study a little longer, but he'll get there.
he would have understood if he went to college. You know.
There's a reason they got rid of him for 5 years.
Anyway, but yeah,
like book, Peter.
But the problem is now, like DC, they started up the DC universe and then let it falter. Like they didn't like they weren't dedicated to it. They weren't like okay, we're gonna be putting out 2 movies a year and it's gonna keep the same universe, the same storyline. And then like they started to, and then like a couple didn't go well, and they very quickly abandoned the sort of like consistency of it, which is so important. Marvel's released a movie every single year for the past 12 years, except for last year. So, I mean, and that's COVID, but I mean,
lazy.
Yeah. And this year they're doing 4.
They finally got lazy.
And they're doing 4 series on Disney Plus.
Yeah, exactly. They went from movies to TV show. Talk about lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
It's really step back.
Well, where'd the budget go?
Kind of crazy about DC in general, though, is like I don't know if you've watched any of their animated stuff, Jack, but it's very well done.
Yeah,
they have
it is. I've seen a lot of the
stuff.
animated films,
Yeah.
and most of them are connected.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
well, and they have several that are connected, and I'm like, so you have writers that can do it, and you can do it well. We just need to get it to mesh with
dupe it.
You know.
Let's get Young Justice.
Dupe it.
Just
Dude.
dupe it.
Where's Damon Wayne? Where's little Damon Wayne?
Honestly, like Batman Beyond and Young Justice and stuff, that might be your clean slate. Just listen, I know you want to get there. You want the monies, you want the good stuff. I'm willing to sleep on it. I'm willing to wait for it. Let's just build up this, let's build up this glorious mound of DC IP. I'm ready for it.
Or you know what? Or vice versa. I'll watch a Batman origin story every 4 years. Give me another Batman. How did he become Batman?
I'm
serious. I do like Batman.
Who knows?
I do like Batman. I'll watch it all goddamn day.
All that being said, thank you very much, Papa Warner, for taking care of Rooster Teeth. We really love you.
Well, here's the thing, Jack. You
don't
ran
pay
your
for my
mouth.
opinions, though.
You're done for.
Yeah, that's it. I'm out.
Yeah, I'll just veer all the blame to.
I mean, what you can say from watching this broadcast is we tried to stop him. You know, we tried to veer him. We tried to use the company approved course correction techniques to veer Jack back. We're not telling him what to say, but suggesting what he could maybe think, you know, but
there we go.
Hey,
Michael, you know who's awesome?
What? Ooh.
First members are awesome. They're the best.
They weren't ready. Here, I'll do it.
Love.
Oh, that was the first beep. Wow. No, I already did it.
Yeah, he did it. He did it.
I did it already.
It's going off.
Where's the first horn?
Ask and ye shall receive. What up? What up, firsties? Thanks for the support. This is just a little thank you to first members for helping us out, for supporting us. We appreciate it. It helps us do a lot. Helps us do a lot more than the regular stuff we do. Get little punch outs. We get to make stuff like that, little roosters. You know, mini golf, all them first shows you've seen, and really appreciate it. And just a little, you know, and if you're not a first member, check it out. Maybe there's something you want to watch, you know, some bonus content that might be to your liking. Like I said, Della Roosters just finished. If you haven't seen it, if you're not a first member, or if you are a first member and you slept on it, you can binge the whole series right now, start to finish. No spoilers. Who done did it? Find out now.
It was me.
Jack,
it was
no,
all along.
No.
I did it the whole
was
time.
The cat.
It was me. It was Ellie.
Cat.
Ellie
you
did
with
it.
The cat in the parlor.
It was you.
Oh,
that was like a soundboard meow. That was good.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I've been training her. She's been filling up my soundboard. Come on, give me another one. Nope.
Die.
Okay. No, she's done.
Like
you
an
gotta
accordion.
squeeze it out
She's
of
like,
her.
she's like, you get one free if you. Come on. There
There you go.
Excellent.
Anyway, all right.
No.
This is my puppet. She's very happy to be here. She sits on my desk and just stares at me. She just like looks at me. It's the weirdest thing.
Oh, she's waiting for you to die so she can.
She's trying to
eat you.
soul
And she
swap.
can start eating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
She's
look her in
mad
the eyes
now.
too
You're
long.
hungry.
Fine.
You might become the cat. Your body taking over. It's like Jeremy though. Jeremy's got Scoot Book and Zip walking around, and I think it was like the other day. All of a sudden you just hear, "Wait, no, don't hit that!" And he sounded like he was like
Yeah,
really
eat
far
that.
away.
That was funny.
Oh man,
Excellent.
Matt, how are you cats
honestly-
doing?
Aria, she's just sleeping. So like the last I don't know month, she's like kind of started coming into the
Hold on.
office, and we got a blanket from like Warner,
Yeah.
and she's just been loving that thing. I've
Oh, is
not
that
gotten to
that
use
white
it.
one?
Yeah,
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 it's
That
actually
thing's-
really nice.
That thing's
It's
comfy
super
as
nice.
shit.
Yeah.
it's super nice. But the cats claimed it, so I don't get to use it ever.
Someone
Oh.
someone in Awu sent me a tortilla blanket. And
Mhm.
so this is Ellie's. She I have
It-
a second chair in my office and
Looks
she
like-
sits on it.
Looks like a bunch of burn marks on it.
I mean,
I was like, oh my
technically-
god, what happened?
It's a full
He puts his
tortilla.
cigarettes out on
Yeah.
it.
Under different lighting, that's fucked up.
It does look like limp bread. It's or like a very flaccid tortilla. Tortillas
Yeah.
shouldn't move like that.
And
Matt,
in
it's
nature,
like-
they don't.
That's yes when you catch
Nature.
them wild.
yeah.
Matt, I thought you were gonna say that your cat had been asleep for the past month, and I was going to grow concerned
no.
Oh,
and ask you
no.
if the
Matt
cat had been
hasn't-
eating.
Matt hasn't had the
She's
talk
just-
yet.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
keep
she's
hugging
like-
her, but she's stinky.
She's getting real stinky. Everyone's
Yeah.
really
Goes
talking
between-
about you today.
They're real interested in you. Oh, that stinks.
God.
No, she's just been like sleeping a lot more lately, and I'm guessing just because it's been cold.
Do you
know,
think
but
she is stealing your sleep?
that could be it.
Do you think that she's sucking
be
it
it.
from your breath? And so every
the-
hour you don't sleep, your cat sleeps? Do you think maybe
The-
there's some
the
of that
best-
going on?
The best part is generally when I try to go to sleep, I'll lay down and then she'll plop right here, like on between my chest and my mouth. And so
Oh.
I can barely breathe whenever I try
Yeah,
and
your
sleep.
cat
but that's
wants you dead for sure.
more than likely. But I mean, she's also been super clingy the last 2 days. Like I know we were in a recording yesterday, and I'm sure you guys sort of bumped the mic and just assumed I was a fool. But she slammed right into the mic, jumping
I
up
hear,
on me
I hear you scratching at it every now and then.
every once in a while. Yeah,
Just
it's a lot of it's her me
patting at it.
stopping her.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
does. He goes, "Oh, my
Right.
cat."
Oh,
Mhm. That's an accurate representation.
yeah. But no, she doesn't climb on the desk though. She just like climbs on me.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it's not. She hurts.
Has she ever used you
Sharp
as a
claws.
scratching post?
No, she's used most of the couches I've owned as one though. And meanwhile, she
No,
looked
not
at her
the
several
couch.
scratching posts. Dude, that new couch, she's so close to death and she doesn't know it. Like one mess up, that's the end. I can get a new couch way easier.
So she hasn't
Just get a
touched it
new
yet?
cat. She's
Oh.
not touched it yet. No, she's avoided
Oh
it.
my god.
Can you
She'll sleep on it though.
Dark.
you could put like I've heard like
Matt, that's the next
foil,
DC
right?
storyline.
You can put some stuff around it. I don't know. I got a spray that I sprayed on it, and I was like, don't do it. Yeah, she'll
Yeah.
be there's a cat in the DC universe.
Did you kill
right?
this cat? Did you kill your
Yeah,
cat?
Catwoman.
No, not Catwoman. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, she died. She fell out a
lantern.
window. That's what happened in the movie.
I want to say it's a red lantern. that's a
Didn't
cat.
who killed her? It was
I don't know.
was Christopher Walken killed her? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember.
Yeah,
He pushed her out
Son
and
of
she
a
landed in
bitch.
she landed in a dump truck full of kitty litter because
Yeah,
those just
dude.
drive around.
Thus, she was transformed.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Halle Berry
No.
Michelle Pfeiffer,
movie,
man.
or
No, man.
I
Talking about Batman Returns. Christopher Walken in it.
Danny
No.
DeVito?
Oh right, no, yeah. Oh, with the suit
Halle
that's all
Berry
stitched
movie.
together
Oh,
from
yeah.
like pieces. Am I blurry? Get out! Stop!
Well,
with
yeah,
that.
your autofocus is on. It's been on the whole damn show, Trevor.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it freaks out. It looks maybe it's catching a ghost that's a little closer. I don't know.
Okay,
What's
no,
going
I
on.
just think you can't fucking sit still. You've been hanging out with Matt in his sugar house.
Man, it could be true.
Wait until you close your eyes tonight.
I'm just
See all
Michael
kinds
swinging.
of visions.
Jeez, you're gonna
Michael,
make
how
work for you.
How much PVC have you messed around with, Michael? Because I've got to run some
Oh,
stuff for some
Quite a
irrigation
number
in
in my
backyard.
day. Not anytime recently, but
Yeah.
I could tell you a thing or two about some PVC. About
Yeah.
talking about half inch or talking about
Well, yeah,
three
I'm
quarter.
probably
are you,
running,
are you talking
like-
about like plastic PVC, which I guess is all PVC, but
like hard plastic.
Schedule 20. Schedule 40. I combine 20 and 40. Schedule 20, schedule 40. That determines the thickness. There's the size, which is like the diameter of how big the pipe is, but then there's the thickness of it.
Yeah. Now we've got some garden beds that I made for Katie for like her vegetable garden beds that are like raised, and I just had some like real simple like thin like PVC stuff that I ran out and then ran some splits to it and stuff, but it all exploded during the ice freeze.
I mean,
so
even thick PVC could crack, but you're a lot better off with schedule 40.
It was also leaking. It was leaking and stuff already. So I'm just gonna run this just to like basically make a start at my faucet, but then like I want to connect a soft line to it, so you can basically cap it off if you're not going to use it, and then run a soft line up to. We have like an irrigation thing. It's like a battery powered thing. So run that into that, and then at the end do a soft line where you could poke in and do like some simple hoses out of it.
You talking about still PVC? What do you mean soft?
Yeah,
you're talking about like flex PVC.
Yeah. I'm thinking almost like a water hose type connection, like a softer thing, but just to have some movement to it. So it's like it's ready to go whenever you want to use it, but you can cap it off and not use it if you don't want to. So
is it called PEX? There's PEX that's freeze resistant, burst resistant and stuff. Soft, it's flexible. Then there's CPVC, which is up to code if you need to use that on your water heater.
Wikipedia PVC.
No, I knew all this stuff because my house was old and falling apart, and also not up to code in many ways. So I had to redo the plumbing.
Okay.
Yeah. No, and also my dad's a builder. So
yeah. But
you want to get that PVC blanket? You can turn them into noodles.
There you go.
It gets hot. What?
I got some simple stuff now, but it's all like all the angles and stuff are all leaking, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it right since now is the time to sort of redo it.
You can buy the pre-shaped, like 45-degree or 90-degree turns, or you could do it yourself with a heated blanket. You just plug it in, you wrap it around the PVC, it gets super hot, you pull the blanket off, and then you can bend it any way you want, and then you let it sit, and it hardens again.
Or you can microwave it.
I wouldn't recommend it. Then there's a technique with PVC glue, right?
That.
You get PVC glue. It's a little can, and it's got like a big cotton swab at the end, and you want to go like this, like a circle. That's how you apply it. You got to swirl it. You got to do the dip and swirl, and then you get to peel all the PVC glue off your hands at the end of the day.
Just rip it all off.
A fun treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the glue you want to eat too. I'm pretty sure it's non-hazardous PVC glue.
Probably not.
Yeah,
I'd
easy.
If you had to eat a glue, that's the one I would go for. Flavor, good on the stomach.
But the thing about all of this that I'm like looking forward to the least out of all of it, like, is not the PVC, it's digging the trench for the PVC. Like that to me is like, that sucks.
Yeah, digging sucks.
Yeah.
I hated digging.
Hire Matt.
Matt, you want to come dig a trench for me? Matt, I'll give you $20 an hour.
Okay, let me see.
Ooh,
holy shit!
Make it a trench for a man.
Let me do a quick Google search.
Really put some hours in.
Ditch digging for $10 an hour.
20.
No, you're giving me 20. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to Fiverr. Go to Fiverr.com. Scoop up someone local, and then
you should use rigid metal conduit instead. Says Frigga. Have you messed with rigid metal conduit, Michael?
If you're talking about EMT, sure.
Sure. Is that better than PVC if I'm running some simple irrigation?
EMT is very similar to PVC. It's just metal. It's the same thing. It's just a bunch of pipes as opposed to plastic.
I'm going to assume it's probably a lot more expensive, isn't it?
I never got really that far into it. I didn't buy the shit. I just installed it. I don't think it's that much more expensive. It's probably more of a pain in the ass to work with. You can't melt it to bend it. You got to get a pipe bender. And boy, did I fuck up a lot of pipes. Because you really gotta think like, dude, when you gotta make like this many bends, and so it's like all 3-dimensional. We're like, all right, I bent 90 degrees, that's easy. Put it back the other way, that's easy. But then if like you're working in an apartment like basement and it's like up the wall, out, up to the right, I just go, I fucked up another one. Throw away this 10 feet. I fucked
just got
it
like
up.
a bunch of connections because you just had to hack off pieces and just. It's satisfying though when you see someone who's done the plumbing or the piping just right, and you see like, for example, a bunch of copper.
You gotta get all your straps. You gotta get your straps to support it.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that takes me back Stinky basements. Basements are stinky.
My thing is, I already have a PVC cutter, which is a little plastic tool. It's like just squeeze it a couple
you can
times,
chop
like
a
a
finger
ratchet
off
thing,
with
just
that,
whoop,
for
and it
sure.
pops right off. It's like, oh, that's easy. I can imagine doing metal is going to be a little bit trickier.
Well, it's called a saw.
Yeah, it's metal.
Yeah.
Also, so yeah.
I'll
Superman
mess around
would
the
just
PVC, see how
break
it goes. Anyway. It's not much that more. It'll freeze faster, though. It'll freeze faster? Metal freezes faster? I guess so. Yeah, because it'll get cold and stay cold.
But it would
It's the
freeze,
conductive nature.
would it break easier? I don't know.
It can
these things.
crack. It can split, hairline fracture or something. And that's just me guessing to that. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, so that's
isn't building
one
advice.
of my various weekend projects that I'm going to do. I'm also like, I got very fortunate that my pipes never burst during the freeze.
Same,
And so,
dog.
Like
Same.
all of my neighbors though, like literally like 8 of my neighbors had their pipes burst. And so I'm gonna wait
you
until
kept breaking them. You told us.
Yeah, I kept just with a hammer.
So I went out there, man, and it just kept going. Oh, damn! The ice strikes again.
So I'm gonna wait till summer when the plumbers are hopefully not busy, and then see about getting all my stuff winterized just to be safe. Because the amount of stuff that was breaking in all my neighbors, I'm like, I don't want that ever to happen to me. So just
I'll
to
be
future-proof
real.
a little bit.
Austin and building trades not being busy don't go together. They're
That's
always
true.
busy.
Yeah.
Austin is a booming city for remodels, for flipping homes, and for people moving here. So
Yep.
might as well get in there, get on someone's calendar ASAP.
There's a guy in
'Cause-
chat, Dance Dad says, Jack, as a licensed irrigator in Austin, you want a class 200 or schedule 40 PVC. A licensed irrigator.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
didn't know that-
It's someone
I
who
didn't know
puts
that
in,
was irrigated.
like those sprinkler systems and stuff, I assume. You know,
Do you need a license for that though?
I don't know. Probably. You need a license to
Interesting.
be a plumber. You need a license for most
true.
trades.
That's true.
There's
Anyway.
safety
Wait, you do?
precautions and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
wonder if
But
Mario's
not
licensed.
in your own house.
Exactly.
You can
That's
do
why
whatever
you
the fuck you want.
you just tarp up your windows and hack away at your walls. You can do whatever you want.
Just don't tell them, dude.
Yeah.
No, no.
smash some stuff down. Oh man, I love messing with my house. I love like putting up like I've got all like I've got switches in my walls like the not Waze, what is it called, Zigbee switches, so I can control everything from my phone in my house. And I've got like motion sensors where like I've got like red lights outside because like red lights are better for nature. But I also have cameras all over, and
Right.
if they detect motion, they'll trigger white, so they'll go from red to white at night. Which is kind of cool. Yeah, Matt, do you not know that about like red lights? Right, red lights are better for animals.
I didn't know. I had no idea about that. I thought we were under a yellow sun, not a red one.
Boom.
So
Oh
yeah,
my god,
bring
what
it
is this?
back.
Krypton?
Roasted.
Yeah.
So I
I
love
had
doing.
no
I love
idea.
messing with that. Like any sort of like ability I can do with that, I'm all for.
Yeah. Well, my first order of business, new weekend project, hack Jack's house. Secondly, I've been actually like I've never been
Thank
one
you.
for cable management, but like I finally got my desk all together or whatever, got my monitor mounts or whatnot. Like I slowly put this all together, and then like over the weekend, the last 2 weekends, I just put music in on my like
Mhm.
AirPods or whatever, and then I get under my desk like I'm working on a car, and then I just slowly start like reconfiguring the cables. And now it's down to a point where like it looks so clean. Like there's the cluster of cables that goes up behind the one PC, and then it only splits, like all the cables split at the back of that one. And then there's the other
Nice.
cluster that goes to the other one. And I almost needed to do it because I splurged and got a standing desk so it can go up and down. And I realized for most of the time that I had it, I couldn't stand because the cables would go. So
Rip it
I had
apart.
to get back in there and with longer cables, rerun the cables. And I was like, while I'm in here, I might as well
Yeah.
force myself to do it. Just this
There you
one
go.
time. And then now I've got all this desk space. And I'm like,
And here's the deal, that'll last for about 6 months, and then you'll have to add in like a new mouse or a new
Yeah.
keyboard, and then you have
Yup.
to unplug
And
stuff,
so
and then
I
you start
just
clipping things.
I let them have it. I just
have at it.
I just let the cables take over and
Just
shove
yeah.
them under. As long as I don't see them, Alfredo comes over sometimes, back in
Yeah.
the olden days, and he'll look and go, "Wow, why?" And I go, "Why not? Who cares?
Yeah.
I just
can't-
don't like-
I can't see down there. I don't
Yeah,
give a
it's
shit.
Like when my
Exactly.
Tootsies find a cable and they floss between
Well,
my
look,
toes or
if you're
something.
talking
I'm like,
about if you're
"Yeah."
talking about
Yeah.
Tootsie Floss, that's a concern. But if it's just like
Zing.
shit down in the corner that I have to go out of my way to look
Oh,
at,
no,
what the fuck do
no.
I care?
I feel that.
See,
Yeah.
I had them organized, and like since then it's gotten a little bit rough. But the thing that's making me do it again is the cat. Like,
Yep.
she'll go down there and be like, I'm going to live in these now. I'm like, no, you're going to get electrocuted. And then you won't be living in those.
It seems like every
Yeah.
cable that I get now, and I don't have any that I can grab and show you, but they're kind of like my keyboard one. Can I get it up high enough? Is it there? Just the edge of frame.
No.
They're the ones that are wrapped with that fabric.
Yeah,
And
I like
which
those.
they're nice. They're definitely nice. They're just chunkier.
What, like the
And-
nylon type?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever
Cable?
that. Yeah, with the
Yeah, I know
weaving
what
around.
you're
Like Razor
talking
stuff that
about.
does that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is nice. It definitely is. It's
Just
more
out of
rigid or
frame.
whatever. Definitely, I think that's because a lot of households have cats, and the cats just like to chew on that rubber. But I just want all the black sleek, that matte black sleek kind of cable look is just like, oh, that's all nice because my shelf is matte black, my arms are matte black, it all blends in. Now I suddenly have all these like silver wrapped cables around. Now I'm getting to the minutia. I've honed into the point of now I'm
Honestly-
like, I need certain cables.
Man.
Honestly, I want to color code every single thing I own. Like, I want to make all the cords different colors for like the different devices and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it's so much easier for me to understand.
What I do,
'Cause I do have to
is
switch a few things.
and I just tug on them and I see what pulls out or what
Yeah,
gets yanked
that's my
elsewhere.
current system too.
I just cut them. I get scissors and I cut them when I pull
What
them
broke?
out.
New cables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's how I get them out.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's efficient.
It's very efficient.
Katie wanted me to point out that it's the red lights are for nocturnal animals. So nocturnal animals can't see red light, or at least not easily, so it doesn't affect them as much. So but
that makes
light
sense.
light pollution, like bright white lights can like mess up with animals. So anyway, if we see red lights in front of like in a neighborhood, that's typically what that means.
Yeah.
In this
Yeah.
in suburbs, I suppose. So anyway, it's nice.
Yeah, no, that's nice, dude. I didn't know that. I had no
Yeah.
idea.
And so yeah, but I just did think because I didn't want them always to be red, so I set up. I have lights outside. They're like cheap version of Hue lights, where they can switch lights, and then I've got it programmed in where if it like any of my cameras outside detect motion, they go from red to white immediately, and also kicks on my front porch light, my back, like all my lights turn on, and it's like oh,
Damn,
yeah, so,
dude.
yeah.
And a helicopter
I had to get all that
blasts
set up.
over the horizon.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Matt leaves his
Exactly.
door open so the ghosts don't slam it.
That's true.
Yeah, he just
I
leaves his front
haven't
door
had
wide
anything
open.
like that here. I've been lucky.
So
I
far.
did have. I felt. I think it's fine to tell. We
Oh.
had like the ice storm, and all that.
Mhm.
And Casey and I we went out. We kind of like walked around for a little bit. We need to get gas, and then about halfway down the street, I was like, we'll just risk driving. This is too far of a walk. In
You're
these
gonna walk to the
conditions.
gas station?
That's what the thing was. We didn't have it, so we were going to like walk to the gas station to see if they had it and determine if it was worth driving. And then I just said,
Oh,
it's just
okay.
worth driving.
Okay.
If the car dies somewhere, that's where it lives for the remainder of its days. I'll just get a new
Okay.
one. So like we came back after all that, and like I'm like unlocking the door and all that, and then Casey just screams, and I was like, oh, okay, well I don't know what happened. I thought she might have fallen or something, and there was a rat like over like it was dead. It was just dead over like right by the road.
Did
and I
you
was
touch
like,
your couch?
that might have been it. Yeah.
Killed him.
Couch got him. But like I was like, man, he might have frozen, and then I like saw a bunch of feathers around. I was like, oh, you got owled. You got owled hard.
Well, it didn't take him away though?
No, it
What
did
good
not
is
take
that?
him away. It just like ate a little bit of him, and it was like,
Oh man,
all right, well, I'm
bad
done.
rat. All got bad
Yeah.
rat.
Yeah, I know.
That sucks.
Thing. On the plus side, the noises in the wall have stopped. I don't know if that's related.
Well, have you stopped going in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey
Bat
was
it
knocking
out.
around, scraping around in there, like hiding away.
Get the
She's
broom.
looking at me
Matt,
very
get
unhappy.
out of there! You get yelled at?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You just got
I'm
yelled-
fine. We're fine.
You started saying yeah, and then you changed
Yeah,
course on that.
But,
Keep drinking
yeah,
your
no.
ice. Keep drinking your iced tea.
That was just the craziest thing. Was like I could see like just wildlife out and about in that snowstorm because I saw like tracks where they had been. I thought it was so cool
And
because
then
I haven't seen.
if you
any
follow
of
the
that.
tracks, you'll probably find where they are.
Yeah, where they're
still.
dead.
Yeah, man.
That
it's,
or they're luring you into a trap
That
and
could be
they'll
it.
drop a fucking net on you.
yeah, maybe they walked
And they go,
backwards
got
to
me.
We
trick
got you, stupid human.
Yeah.
It's just cool. I know there's like a little bunny in my backyard, and only because I hear him very frequently like try to get up to the side of the house for warmth, and I feel bad because there's no way I could let that thing in. First of all, it would never come in, but also the cat would just devour it. But yeah, it's just cool seeing like little hopping footprints in the backyard. I like it.
Yeah, nature.
It's very cute. Nature.
Nature.
And then the owl's there too, which is probably bad for the rabbit, but
Yeah.
Michael,
problem.
New
No, they're
Jersey
friends.
has legalized recreational marijuana.
nice.
Damn, dude.
So tell Denise. Let her go
Let her know.
block
I'll let her know.
Denise, ready to go.
Are you kidding me? She doesn't need that. You know how many doctors she knows? She's got scripts up to here.
Oh man.
Okay.
Do you think that's gonna happen in the next what, probably 8 years? I would
What?
say
8?
this legalized marijuana, on some
Biden
level.
and Kamala have both said that they're Harris, I should say, are both out here saying they want to do that within their administration.
Okay.
Good
yeah.
luck.
So
You know
Or 8
if
years.
anybody's gonna fight him, who it's gonna be? Texas, baby. They'll go
Dude,
down swinging.
we have so much farmland out here. We could grow that shit in Texas.
Yeah,
make some
but
money
it's
on it.
the devil. Okay,
Yeah.
it's the devil's lettuce. All right.
It's like the
We will
vast
be the-
majority of
we
states
will
now
be
have
the
at
Makes
least
a
medical
terrible
marijuana,
salad.
right?
yeah. This is awful. This is awful.
Oh man.
Needs
All
more
right.
cheese. Are you done,
Just
Jack?
goes for another bite.
My
Uh-oh.
did my internet go out?
That's bad.
My internet went out.
Hello.
Hello?
I'm back.
Oh, did that happen to
I'm
everybody?
back.
I
I
was
was
very
like,
concerned
what?
it was just me.
Me too. I just
Same.
assumed my internet went out.
Yeah.
We're
Wait,
back.
Wait, did everyone's
Maybe.
internet?
Cool.
Did
Oh.
the internet just have a
I
hiccup?
don't. I
For
was assuming
everyone.
it was on broadcast side, not
No,
us.
my internet went down to my
Help!
house.
No, my internet, yeah, too.
Help!
Look,
I'm
we
in
don't know.
here.
We don't know. Jack is frozen again for me.
I'm back now.
He's back.
I'm in the
There you go.
shadow
There you go.
realm.
That was
Is that what happened?
That was
Because we started
crazy.
talking about
Oh, my
marijuana.
voice. That's it. As soon as you said it, we all died.
Harris and
mentioned-
Biden pulled the plug on us.
Shut the internet down. No one can know.
Man, Trevor, you're still
No, I'm refreshing. I'm gonna get to the bottom. of this.
live?
There we go.
black image.
Yeah, we're live, man.
Yeah, we're live, baby. We're back. We're back,
that-
baby.
All right, we're back.
Texas
Jack, we've
has
always-
its own internet. We know
We've
that.
always
Yeah.
been back.
We don't want
Guys,
regulation.
It's getting cold again.
Jesus, that was
Fire
weird.
up the spliffs.
That is so strange.
Yeah, because we're all in different locations. We're
Yeah.
all miles
No,
apart from each other.
Jack, the illusion has been broken. They can remove all these borders, and we're all just sitting next to each other. That would be such a cool reveal.
Just side by side.
We're
This has
all
been a
in
set the whole
one-
time.
We're all in one room.
Oh,
that
it just melts.
It was Papa Warner. Papa Warner caught word of what I was talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they should have just dropped you, though. I don't know why they
Weird.
brought
They
me into
nuked all of
this.
Texas.
I don't know why they brought me into this. I
Matt
didn't
is
do
silent.
anything
Matt, are
wrong.
you sending the wrong?
No.
Matt's sending, dude.
No, no.
No, I'm sending the right thing.
I mean,
All right.
they couldn't wait like another minute. We were about to end the show.
Yeah, that's true. We're
And
about
now
to
the
wrap
show's
it up.
been extended to talk about how we got dropped. Crazy. Well, that about does it. Dropping aside.
Hang on, let me see.
Oh, we don't have
Matt-
Matt's mic
Matt
anymore.
froze.
No,
Matt
we
has
lost
gone
Matt
silent.
again.
Matt
Guys,
has gone
Matt's
to the
gone.
oh,
We're
he's in
next.
the shadow realm.
We're next.
Oh, he's gone. Look at him.
we better wrap. We better wrap the show up before we're next.
go.
Matt, we gotta go.
I'm back.
Hang on. No,
he's
he's not
back.
back.
He's back.
Hang on.
We're
He's a
hey.
ghost.
So thanks for watching. Off topic. Here's some stuff for me to tell you now. We're live
go.
throughout the week on RTTV. I mean, it's Thursday now, so tomorrow. But in general, including next week, check out new shows like Wrestling with the Week featuring James Willems and Scorpio Sky, and No Dumb Answers with Mark and Brad featuring Caleb Milton, Mariel Salcido, and Zoe Terhune. Stick around for the Age Post team playing Valheim. Ever heard of that game?
What?
People are getting into it.
Don't
People are
forget
liking
the,
it.
the block party tomorrow. The block party
Block party.
tomorrow as well. Black Heritage Month block party starting tomorrow 1 p.m. Central here on RTTV.
That's like the continued streams that I was just talking about on RTTV. Trevor, stop. Okay? No. That's it. We're done here.
Bye, everyone.